was really pleased with the effort, the guys that played against Philly. That was a lot of fun to watch. Some guys that haven't had a lot of opportunities that took advantage of when they were out there. And just seeing the overall excitement in the locker room after the game with everybody, because they know the challenges that we have, starting in the playoffs. And I think it's awesome for this organization and the fans, the great fans of the Giants, and it's a lot of fun. You get a different sense of energy in the building and yourself professionally when you're getting ready for these playoff games, and it's going to be a great challenge.
Wait, how do you balance being aggressive and smart at the same time against a team that's so explosive?
Balance, aggressive, and smart. So if you're aggressive, you're not smart?
No, you could be
No, I'm with you. I just think that, it's our personality as a defense is to attack. And, I said it before, if you got an NY on your helmet or the old school Giants on your helmet, you're going to attack. Now, there's different ways to attack or to be smart. And, one of the reasons why we pressure like we do is because we know they're going to hit. And, it's one of those situations where, that was a topic of discussion of, could you have done this? Could you have done that? Could you have done this? And I just look at it as, for myself personally, when I'm calling a game, is it time for us to win it? Which is at the time as we were trying to win it defensively, of where we were at in that situation. Now, you're saying, well, you're pressuring and you got 18 out there. We have 18 with a safety over the top of them. Just like Buffalo when they rushed 4 on 4th and 18. Great players make great plays, and 18 made a great play, made 2 of them. All right, and Cousin was throwing off his back foot. All credit to them. Okay, you guys know how I feel about Kevin. I think he's done a great job with this offense. He's come from the McVay tree, and you can tell he just wasn't sitting there doing nothing. He was working at that system, and it's cool to watch. Because everybody studies Sean's offense. It's cool to watch his little areas that he's branched off of that offense, but it's still that same family. But let's make no mistake about it, is you can't take away 18. You try to limit him, but you can't take away from him. I said it. I think I said it the last time. But he's one of the top 2 receivers, and he's not number 2 in this league, and it's going to be a great challenge.
There have been a few times this year where teams have limited him. Do you see any commonalities of scheme or just approach, how teams have been able to do that?
Yeah, and there's other factors that go into it. Score the game. You can do some different things. You get a 2-score lead, you can do some different things. But it's going to be one of those things that you have to keep the ball moving on, which I thought we did a nice job of the last time we played them. Once again, I got the utmost respect for Kevin and the job they've done, because I know we're up there, in the top 3 as far as winning 1-score games. I think they're number 1 is winning 1-score games, and that's what good teams do.
Like you said last week that you felt like the defense was on an upswing.
Still feel that way.
Right. What are you seeing, and what is the biggest difference in this defense now, maybe than Week 5? Why do you feel like this defense is on the upswing?
First of all, it's the brotherhood of the guys in that room and how they care. They're selfless and how they care for each other, and they're just as happy to see someone else be successful than themselves. And when you get things going that way, that's a lot of fun. Another thing is we're getting healthy, so guys are excited about that. So I just think we're in the playoffs. We built a playoff defense, and it's different ways to do it. And we went obviously a different route this year than what I'm used to in the past, but it's been a lot of fun, and I'm excited. Like I said, I'm fired up for the fans. I'm fired up for the players, because they've worked their tail off since I've been here. And it's fun to see those guys have the success that they're having, and they're truly excited about representing this organization and taking on Minnesota. So it's going to be fun.
What makes them a playoff defense? What
we're in the playoffs. That's number one. I mean, I just think that, with my experience, I could see it building. And, I said something to him during a loss that we're building a playoff defense here, guys. Make no mistake about it. And I feel that way. That's guys that can, just play it one play at a time, and they don't flinch. They're never flinching. And if there's a mistake, we correct it. If there's a play, we celebrate it, and then we get ready to go play the next play. And, they've just been so professional and, studying their opponent, studying the game plan. And, that's the thing that's exciting to me about it is they've been rewarded for it. Because, sometimes in life you don't get rewarded for that. And, I'm happy for the guys that have been here for a while, and they haven't been in the playoffs yet, too. It's sort of fun to sit back and watch how they react, too. So, but defensively, like I said, I'm really happy where we're at and excited to see where we're going to go.
Because of how you've built this, and on a week-to-week thing of flipping your game plan every week to attack your opponent, to identify what you do.
Yeah.
Have you put yourself in a position now where you're going into the playoffs and all of the guys embrace maybe something different?
I believe
can you
so.
change?
Yeah, because everything is punch and counterpunch. And especially when you're playing, just like we did when we played Washington from the first time into the second time. Same thing we did with Philly, and looking back on it, I think we did the same thing in Dallas, and, we had a lot of injuries in that game, but we still held them lower than what they were averaging scoring. I know that. Every time I saw it, I felt shitty walking out of there, but then after I saw some of these others, hey, I don't feel that bad. But I think that's the way professional football is, and that's the way being a coordinator is you got to have counterpunches to everything you do.
You mentioned the old school Giants. When this franchise has won Super Bowls, it's been in large part because the defense has hit the quarterback.
Right.
How much are you sort of inspired by that tradition and trying to advance
definitely inspired. That we know where the standard is, and we want to keep raising the bar. And that's what I keep referring to the fans. I think they like seeing it. They like seeing an attacking style defense and ones that can hit the quarterback. We've had 19 different guys this year on the roster that's got a sack. That's crazy. And, it's also, once again, a credit to the players and their coaches. So, Jordan, I know you had one here.
I was going to say, what did you learn from that first matchup with Minnesota?
They're really good. And, like I said,
ways?
Honestly, Jordan, I think that's a great question. Well, I mean, talent is obvious, right?
But you knew that beforehand.
Yeah, but I mean, it's legit. When you see 18 out there running down the field. I think that was the beginning of when I said, I told the coaches and I told Dex, and you guys, Dex and Leo, I said, we got a playoff defense here, guys. Just keep playing it one play at a time. And that's when it was 24-20. That's when we were down. It's before the offense scored. And then I went on the back of the plane and I told them, I said, we got a playoff defense, guys. We just got beat. We got beat by a buzzer beater at half court. So that's what it was. And the biggest thing in this league is you never let one game beat you twice. So you stay consistent. That's the way Dave's has been since day one. That's why I love it working with him. He's been consistent since day one. And there's no riding the roller coasters. It's an emotional game. That's hard to do and keep coming back in on Monday and just staying steady with it. And I think that's what the players appreciate the most, and I think that's what the coaches appreciate the most.
How much does it help to have McKinney back and potentially Adoree back for the matchups that we've mostly been asking you about in particular?
It really helps, and that's why they were started at the beginning of the season. So it's the thing, I keep going back to the players of just seeing Adoree out there smiling and we don't know for sure if he can go. I think that it's still up in the air, and Dave's will handle all that, but it's fun just seeing him smile again because he was down after he got hurt.
If I could just follow up really quickly. With McKinney, he calls himself a playmaker, I think rightly so.
Right.
Does his, the idea he'll play Sunday, does that change the way you can call plays?
Sure it does. I mean, I'll tell you after the game, after Kevin sees it first, but it'll definitely change the way you can call some plays,
Wink, as somebody who's been doing this for a long time and has had playoff
taste of playoff stuff. Leo has been doing this for a while.
Right.
This is the first go around. What is your appreciation for his hunger to keep,
Well,
at this, and how much do you feel for? He's not the only guy, but he's
Right.
he's been here for a long time.
Right, and that's part of the excitement for the playoffs itself, is see those guys that haven't done it. But just like I told the defense when we were getting ready to play the Super Bowl, and Ray Lewis was talking to the team, he said, "Look, we don't have to win the Super Bowl. We just have to beat the team we're playing. We don't have to win the playoffs. We just need to beat Minnesota. So just keep the main thing the main thing." And but seeing those guys that it's their first time in it, it's like seeing a kid on Christmas morning.